And we're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So I'm Paula from Fandom and Books.
I'm Christy from What Christy's Reading.
And I am Brandy from I Ramble Randomly.
And we're here to pump you up.
Woo! Yeah!
Bonus points if you can name the characters from that skit.
I've completely forgotten. I'm like, I know that! Oh, my days.
Can you name the actors?
No! It's gone.
So disappointed in you, Paula.
Oh, is it from Little Giants?
No, it's from SNL. Hans and Franz.
Okay. But it is in a movie, so it's yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
So we're here to talk about the book that I've
This book right here.
This
book.
one.
Yay!
It's also a star by Nicola Yoon.
Oh my god, all
Yeah.
of our covers match for once.
I don't
know.
think there's another cover. I don't
No?
think that this is the only, because it was so perfect. They were like, no, this needs to be like, I was going to say nationwide, but that doesn't make sense. This needs to be worldwide.
Yes, and this is I love this cover. It's so pretty.
It's gorgeous. I spent a lot of time staring at it as, you know, where the strings go. I wonder if it's actually I would like it to be an actual photograph, like somebody actually did this with thread and then photographed it. They did?
Yeah. There was a whole
cool.
thing of well, Nicola Yoon actually put it on her Twitter. See, this is why you should use your Twitter more often. She put it on when they actually made the book cover, and it is all individual strings and stuff.
Oh, that makes me even more happy. I love that.
So yeah,
It's beautiful.
It's very beautiful. But everything was a great cover too. Her publisher, who is it? Oh, Penguin? Of course it's Penguin.
I've got Corgi.
Yeah, well it says I've got Corgi on the side, but then on the back it's got penguin.co.uk. So
mine is Doubleday Canada.
See, mine's penguin.co.uk too, and Corgi. But either way.
Oh yeah, I have the UK version because I wanted it in paperback.
Okay. But either way, A+ to Nicola Yoon and publishers. Go.
Yes.
Winning on both book covers.
Awesome book covers. For real.
So we'll start out with how we initially rated the book. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars.
I did as well.
I did as well.
Yeah. Really liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't a 5-star book. I think it's just because it didn't blow my mind. It was a really, really good book and I really enjoyed it. But it wasn't one of those where I was like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, there was just a few points here and again where I was like, it's kind of cheesy. But they were minor and I didn't feel too badly about them. They were obviously skimmed over and replaced really quickly with really good stuff, but just every once in a while I was like, this is just bringing it down just a tiny bit.
Yeah, I was finding that too. I don't know if it's just that I'm not the hopeless romantic type or I'm not a teenager anymore, but there was some parts of it where it's like, hey, I don't know how I feel about this, but then like all of the action and all of the intersecting plot lines and stuff I thought was really good. So it was the same thing. Sometimes it was just a little too much for me, but generally it was really, really good.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. I think the first note that I have when I wrote down, I was like, you know how it has like the quote from Carl Sagan at the beginning of the book. And it's like, I like the quote from Carl Sagan, but it really makes me want apple pie now. And I was just there, laid there, just going, pie. I need pie, and I still haven't. From when I started the book, I still haven't had any apple pie. But yeah, it's really bugging me.
Now I need to reread the quote.
The croat.
The croat. Okay. Oh, see, I was looking. I'm looking at the quote, and it says, "It does no harm to the romance of the sunset to know a little about it." And I'm like, that's got nothing to do with apple pie.
No, the
Then I read the prologue. That makes a lot more sense. You know what? I had that happen to me. I read a series of books by Joyce Magnan, and there was so much pie in those books that the entire time I read that, it was like, took me a month to get through all 3 or 4 of them. Like, I couldn't get enough pie. It was just, I needed pie all the time.
To be fair, I felt the same when we read Heartless. I was just like, oh, I want all the sugary treats right now.
Right.
Well, and it wasn't even the normal treats. It was like the extraordinary treats that don't exist. And it's like, right. I want that to be a thing right now.
Oh, so true. So very true.
Well, there's and she writes adult murder mysteries. Diane Mott Davidson, I believe, and she does the Goldie Schultz series. And Goldie is a caterer, and she talks a lot about the things she makes. Well, the recipes for those things are at the back of the book. So it totally makes it so that you can at least make it if you are, able to cook. Doesn't help if you don't like to cook, but
See, I love to cook.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on tangents with
food.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. She's by the door trying to get out, and I don't know if I want to let her out right now.
I think Ari is hearing the conversation about us talking about food, and she's like, "Yeah, I have food too.
Yeah. Give me anything with cheese or chicken, and I am there."
I knew
That's about how it works for me too.
Yeah, chicken or cheese. Winning. I also really liked how the book was laid out, how it gave you the histories of other people and other things. It wasn't just solely focused on the love story, even though that was like the major part of it. But yes, I did like how it gave you the histories of other characters.
And it also gave you some of the context for some of the conversations they were having that you might not know if you're not part of that particular culture. Like when she was talking about her hair and like how it was a political thing, the way she was wearing it. And then they had that whole chapter specifically talking about
hair,
like their hair and the progression of it. I thought that was really, really good.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I thought that well, I mean, obviously the short chapters help a lot to make a book go faster. But yeah, all the little bits that were not having to do with Natasha or Daniel, it was like the icing on the cake. Like the Natasha and Daniel was very good and really enjoyable, but then you had this bonus on top, and it was I got so excited when I came to one of those chapters. Ooh, let's read about Hannah Winters or whoever.
See, I like the, like, we're going to be jumping ahead here with what I'm saying, but when it gave me the cliffhanger of Irene's chapter, history, and then it waited the entire book to actually give that the conclusion, I was just like, because there's times where I'd be like, just carrying on reading through the book, and I'm like, seriously, what happened to Irene?
Yeah.
Anyone? No? And I I do like that we finally got a resolve to that. I'm really glad, because that would, it would have crushed me otherwise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, this is a perfect example of writing what you know, because Nicola Yoon is African American, and then her husband is Asian, and so I think that I'm kind of assuming that she's writing from her, family background, and then gaining knowledge from his family background to kind of put it together to make this book. And I think that that's awesome. It's totally cool that she was able to really give a more in-depth look into these two kind of kids who really don't have a whole lot in common but came together, and it was cool.
Yeah. It's like I wish, you know, love happened that fast in a day. It's like, to be fair, it's like I can't get that much stuff done in a day. That was a busy day.
Yeah.
Well, that's whenever the characters were like, I can't believe I just met her like earlier this day. It's like, yeah, it's only been a day. I feel like I've been in this book forever, but it's only been a day.
Yeah, it was nuts. Okay, favorite character.
I liked Daniel a lot. I loved his never-ending optimism and how he was just, you know, he's like, this may not work, but you know what, I'm just going to go and try it and deal with the aftermath afterwards. And I think it worked out well for him. I think you can kind of tell that he wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But that day was a special day for him, and I liked that.
Daniel was my favorite too. It's like a little later on in the book. I liked Natasha initially. I liked that she was like fiery and sarcastic. I'm like, it's my kind of bird. But it was like later on in the book, she's just like, you know, she was all like, you know, no, logic is all problem. Look, it's like, really? You're a teenager. Take a chillaxative. You know, I was just like, okay, fine. But she got on my nerves a little bit towards the end.
Yeah.
But Daniel.
Yeah, I'll agree, because it was like she refused to let herself have any joy. And I realize that she's having to kind of grow up a little bit faster because of what's happening to her. And, you know, she's having to suffer the consequences of her parents' actions. And that's always hard, but still, she refused to allow any joy into her life. And you can't go through life like that no matter what's going on.
Daniel is also my favorite character, but I did really like Natasha as well, but I liked them better as a pair because sometimes I found Daniel way too flighty and Natasha was obviously way too serious all the time. So when they came together, they kind of evened each other out and then kind of brought their levels back to like normal. And I thought it worked really well.
No, that's a good point. They did really kind of, they were the yin to the other's yang type of a thing. And that helped a lot.
What else?
Least favorite character?
Charlie.
Is that Daniel's brother?
He's the straight up one that's going to get punched. Seriously. I was just like, no. I'm like, you can't be that much of a oh, yeah, you are. Oh, yeah. Okay. Even the epilogue with the wrap up and everything, I was just like, seriously, you are such a dick.
I noticed that because there was a lot of characters throughout the book that were kind of like, I don't know about you, but then she always gave the backstory, so it's like, hey, I can't dislike you as much. But with Charlie, he didn't really get the backstory. He got the understanding that both Daniel and Natasha had towards him, but we never really got to see like his particular perspective, so he was just a dick.
Well, I kind of am not a big fan of Natasha's parents either, especially her dad. He seemed a little bit too self-centered, honestly. I mean, I realize that kind of comes in the territory with actors, but I don't know. I feel like parents should sacrifice for their kids, and I don't think that he did that. And then her mom and I'm sure this just happened after just a time of just being so frustrated with not having any kind of success or even just slightly easier life, but she stopped supporting her dad, and that was wrong as well, you know.
Yeah, but like Bernie said, both of those characters had a backstory. They had a bit of like, you know, okay, these are their dickish actions, but here's kind of a reason why. But like I said, Charlie didn't really have one of those at all. It's like when we get first introduced to him, he's just like, okay, typical older brother. He's been there, done that, you know. and you're Daniel's the younger kid. He's getting all the like crappy bits of everything that that the younger kids tend to go through. But it was just like every other time Charlie was popped into the book, it was just like, no, Charlie's just a dick.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't really have any redeeming qualities.
No.
Well, they did kind of discuss the fact that like how much he hated himself being of like not knowing where he fit because of like his Korean parents and his status as an American teenager, but still with the Korean, and he didn't really know how to deal with that, which is, I guess, more of an understandable way for him to be the way he was, but that didn't make it any easier to deal with in the book. He was just not a very pleasant person anytime he was portrayed.
Well, I personally am a firm believer that you can't control your circumstances, but you can control your reaction to those circumstances, and so I still don't like him.
Agreed. Brandy, I think your mic keeps cutting out a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if Christy can hear it too, but when you're talking, it kind of stutters.
Yeah, I'm hearing a clicking when she talks, yeah.
It might be, I just got new internet, so I'm hoping my internet's not just crap.
Well, the picture is fine and everything. It's just, it could be your earphone connection.
Maybe. Hang on, I'll see if I can. I'll play around. Continue.
Okay. Sorry. What else? Oh, yeah, the question that was posed, what would you do if you had a time machine? I was like, we'll throw that question in there.
Wait, what?
The question that Daniel asked, like, what would you do if you had a time machine?
Oh, Daniel asked that. Okay.
Yeah.
It, like, not in regards to the book, just in regards to my own personal life.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
That's a huge question.
I'd like to go back to the 80s and see if they're as good as I remember. They probably aren't. I'd probably be brokenhearted.
Yeah, but so many other. Bowie would still be alive.
Bowie would still be alive, but I'd only have to go back 2 years to have Bowie still be alive. Although he would still be alive and really attractive. The 80s were a good time for Bowie.
Never found Bowie attractive.
Oh, come on. When he was doing the whole Thin White Duke thing, he was really, I mean, like, that was a good look for him. That in the 90s when he had the goatee and the Union Jack coat. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I think it's because it's like he's always been the Goblin King.
Oh, well, but he was attractive as the Goblin King. Come on.
No, I mean, his makeup was flawless.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, no.
Totally gotten off subject again.
Yeah, we tend to do that a lot. I think I've left my book with all my other questions and things upstairs because I'm a genius.
I really am impressed. Okay, so her first book, Everything, made a big splash, and I liked it a lot. But I did kind of have some problems with the ending there. I kind of found it a little bit unrealistic. However, I have to admit that it read very easily and was very enjoyable while I was reading it. But often, if somebody comes out with a really hit first book, debut novel, then they kind of, it's like that's as high as they can go, and they just kind of go down from there. But The Sun Is Also a Star was as enjoyable, if not even more so. And I'm just really impressed with how good she is at writing these contemporary novels. And this is what I want when I have the desire to read a contemporary novel. Like, this is what I'm looking for. I don't often get it, but I definitely, she's, becoming an autobi author. I will just read whatever she writes because it's just so fun to read, no matter what the story is about.
Yeah, I agree. I did. It's one of those where you can just be like, you know, you're in for a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, you know, you make yourself a cuppa, you know, you get your blankie, you're like, right, that's it, I'm good. Good.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone with my book.
Right. Good way to spend an afternoon.
Oh yeah.
Well, and it's one of those feel-good novels, like not the ones you have to take a step back from because it gets so intense. It's like, this is just really not mellow, but it makes you happy just reading the whole thing, because every time there's something bad, it always gets better. And
yeah, kind of like a Morgan Matson thing.
Yeah, and it gets better quickly. Like, you don't have to wait for the entire book, you know, with dread. Even though we know that Natasha is supposed to be deported within 12 hours or whatever from the beginning of the book, there's all these little bits of hope that we get that are like, okay, well, maybe she won't be deported this time, and, you know, maybe they will, you know, do a stay of execution, as it, you know, if you will, and
yeah, I mean, I had that in my comments. I was like, you know, I'm so happy that Natasha and Daniel are together and that she's not getting deported, but I am still unsure that the lawyer's going to be able to pull that out of his ass. Direct comment. I was like,
And that's one thing. Like, okay, so you read the backstory of the lawyer and his secretary, and you're like, okay, yes, it's sad that he has discovered all of a sudden that he doesn't love his wife anymore, but, you know, at least he has this love for his secretary. Okay, all right. But then when you find out that he didn't actually go to the judge because he was too busy at a hotel with his secretary, and Natasha's life is on the line, and I'm like, no, that was a duty-headed thing to do. Don't do that.
it was, but it was also a guy thing to do.
It was very much a guy thing to do.
But I mean, we're not tarring all men with the same brush, but it was.
Oh, that's a good phrase. I'm going to use that again.
But it was a very realistic thing to happen.
Right. Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, it was just a case of, well, you know, question: was it the same Audi driver that nearly knocked over?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was. I was like,
yeah, the one that almost hit Natasha hit the lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, is it? Maybe. Okay. So yeah. I mean, I'm glad that she didn't get hit by the car, but you know.
Well, yeah, and I wonder if the car hadn't hit the lawyer, would he have been so willing to help her? But then he didn't help her, so I guess she would have still been in the same position.
I think it was. I think it was the knock-on effect of the him being like knocked over that made him realize that he did have more feelings for his secretary than his wife and kids, and I think that was the thing. And it's like they had the whole explanation of like multiverses and things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, things happening and like, you know, little differences throughout each and every universe.
Yeah, but if I recall correctly, he didn't end up leaving his wife in the end.
No, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought that his secretary left in tears.
Yeah, but then in the last part of the book, it explains that he left his family, and she talks about how his kids that he left had bad relationships, but the children that he had with his secretary had a healthy relationship upbringing, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I also love, I know that we're kind of jumping around, but I do love the fact that it was a love at first sight type of a moment, but
for Daniel, not for Natasha.
Well, yeah, but you know, even by the end of the day, she's like, I really want to be with him, and you know, we're in love and whatnot. But you know, she goes to Jamaica, and they kind of fall away from each other, and it's more realistic. So, you have that moment. I remember being in high school and having just a magical day with one single person, and then feeling like, oh, this is it. I will love this person forever and ever and ever. And now I don't even know their name,
I don't remember having those moments in high school. I remember having good days.
Well, I obviously just had better high school years than you did. Maybe it's because I actually went to high school and you didn't.
Rude.
You don't have high school. You don't have high school.
Yeah.
Do you guys call it high school?
Well, the high school I went to.
Sixth form or something like that.
No. I went to a comprehensive, and then when I moved to Leeds, it was high school.
I totally do not understand, the English education system. I try to catch on by watching TV shows and reading books set in the time, but
set in the time, not the country.
That's what I meant. I mean, that age, the age group. Rotten person.
Arya. 1 second. I'm sorry.
That was such like a customer service voice just then. It was like, hold on 1 second, please.
1 moment, please.
Let me just go, punch my manager in the face. We've all been that soldier.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Just being shouted at by a customer and just being like, okay, yeah.
Hi.
Sorry, we're just talking about your customer service voice. 1 moment, please.
Were you dealing with the cat again?
Yeah, I tried putting a spray bottle at the top of the stairs to see if it'll stop her from going up there, because she doesn't like a spray bottle. So we'll see. Trying to be crafty here. It's just not working.
Oh,
no, it didn't work. She's already up.
No. You're trying to outcraft a cat. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Hate to break it to you. I mean, it's like cats are amazing, but they're also dicks.
Yes.
Yep.
They stick with their strengths.
Yeah. I did like, at the end when Daniel was having the interview with the lawyer, and the lawyer was just like, yeah, mess up while you're young. And it's just the same conversation that me and you, Christy, had on the Wednesday. We were just like, adulting sucks.
It does.
It really does. It's like, screw up while you're young, kid. Screw up as much as you can, because there's hardly any repercussions when you're younger. Screw up like that when you're an adult, and yeah, you're kind of screwed. Really screwed.
Exactly. Exactly. It's terrifying to mess up as a grown-up.
There's no safety net.
Yeah. Well, and Tatum's always like, I can't wait until I'm older. And I'm like, please, child, just enjoy these free years you have now.
I think, to be fair, I remember uttering the same sentence. It's like,
I do too,
when I'm older, I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm gonna be rich and famous. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's like, when I'm a grown-up, I can go to bed whenever I want to, and eat whatever I want to, and drive and buy whatever I want to, and get a job. And I'm like, yes. And then you have bills and a mortgage and responsibilities, and you have to go to bed on time because you have to get up early for work, and you don't have any money for any of the fun stuff.
Oh no. Debbie's here, so hi, Debbie.
Debbie.
Hello.
Does she know? Yeah, adulting does suck. Yes.
Adulting sucks. Sometimes I wish I could go back to being a teenager. I don't know about that. I'd like to have the energy of being a teenager. Just like to have the energy back. Yeah.
Oh man, I used to spend hours just in my room listening to the same tape over and over and over again. And it was normally Depeche Mode or the Bangles, because I'm cool that way.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like the whole day is gone, and I'm like, what did I do today? I didn't accomplish anything.
See, the highlight of my day now is like, granted, I have a lot of free time on my hands. That won't be happening when the baby comes. But the highlight of my day is having a nap.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so have you guys heard that 21 Pilots song? I don't know what it's... Are you guys familiar with 21 Pilots?
Yes.
Okay, so they have that song,
Stressed
wish
out.
we could take some time. What was it? How's it go?
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we went to an art show at Tatum's school. Tatum is 12, so she's in 6th grade. She goes to junior high at 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So they have all this art up, and then there was a bunch of kids who have done videos, like, media art, and some of them did music videos. And this 7th grader is doing a whole music video to that song.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, you're living in the good old days. Your life is so easy. But you know what? It really speaks to the egocentricity of human beings, because I remember being 13 years old and thinking life was so hard and nobody got how hard it was for me. And now I'm 40 and I think nobody understands how hard my life is, and so yeah, it's like this perpetual thing. You always think that somebody else has got it easier.
Yeah, I mean, when I think when I got my first real, proper job, paycheck wise, I was still living at home, and literally the money was my own. I could spend it on anything. It was just a case of, I bought snacks and movies. That was it.
Yep.
I was just like, now I get a bit of money and I'm just like, okay, I have to budget what I can have so I can eat, but this book's getting released. Damn it!
Oh man.
Okay, I'll have noodles that day, and then that day, and then I can have this book. Yay!
Yeah. Seriously, I went through. I buy so many books from Amazon and on Book Outlet that when I went to Barnes & Noble the other day to use my birthday gift card, I was like, I have $25. I can get a book and a half. And $25 at Book Outlet gives me a dozen books, and I'm like, oh. So I ended up taking pictures on my phone of all these other books, and I'm like, I really want this one and this one and this one and this one. I'm gonna go home and see if I can find them for cheaper elsewhere.
Yeah.
And then I managed to buy 2 of the same book because I'm an idiot.
You're talented.
Oh, man, cannot believe I did
laughed
that.
so hard.
Okay, so I went
so
on
hard.
Monday, and here's the whole story. So I don't know if you guys know, but the Diviners series is getting new covers. So I ordered the new cover for the Diviners from Amazon, and they sent me the old cover. I already have the old cover.
See, this is the cover I have. This is the Lair of Dreams, the second release of the covers.
Right, and there's a new. So in the U.S., it's being released on paperback in September with the new covers, not those ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ordered it from Amazon with the new cover. They sent me the old cover, so I sent it back. They sent me a replacement. It still had the old cover, so I sent it back. So I went to Barnes & Noble with this gift card, and I was like, can you get me the new cover? And she was like, oh, yes, ma'am, I promise you, because it's the one in the computer. This is the one you're going to get. Well, I got it yesterday. Well, so while I was there, I bought that, and then I bought some other books. And then I come home, and yesterday the Diviners comes, it's the old cover again. So I'm like, crud. So I go back to Barnes & Noble, and I'm like, okay, I don't want this one. I already have this one. So she apologized. She goes, I can't guarantee that you're going to get the one you want. I can refund your money, however. And I said, well, I'm not going to come in here with a book and leave without a book. I mean, that's doing bookstores wrong. So I said, I'm just going to go and pick out something else. I spent $12 on the book. The 2 books that I was interested in were both $9.99, and so I was like, well, I can't just get one. I'll just get both. So I come home, and I realize that I bought the same book yesterday that I bought on Monday. And I didn't. I went to go put it in my catalog thingy on my phone, and it's like, this is a duplicate. I'm like, that can't be a duplicate. I don't have that book. No, I do. So now I have 2 copies. I have to go back to Barnes & Noble. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to go in there to return one book, and I'm going to buy a second one.
Well, yeah, you have to reward yourself because of all the stress.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Christy basically messaged me this. She was like, oh, she like took a picture. She's like, Dad knew about all the trouble with the Diviners, trying to get the new covers. And she sent me a picture saying, "Oh, I picked these two up because of this and blah blah blah." I was like, "Okay, I haven't heard of either of those. I have to give them a look see." And even before I had a chance to go on Goodreads and see what they were all about, she was just like, "Well, I bought the same book twice." And showed another picture, and I just sent a gif after gif of people laughing because I just couldn't. It killed me. I told Chris about it, and he was just like, "That's just genius."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing to buy a book in January and then re-buy that same book in, April, not realizing that you already have it because you have so many books on your shelf. But it was 3 days, and I'd already forgotten I'd bought it.
See, I've only ever bought, I bought duplicates, but I thought I had a different book or I didn't have it.
Right.
So I bought, I got given a copy of The Book Thief, and then I ended up buying a copy. I bought Goblet of Fire or The Half-Blood Prince, and I needed the other one.
Right.
Uh,
Well, and I have the book catalog app on my phone that has all of the books I have so that I don't do that. But I didn't even bother checking it because,
okay.
like an idiot.
So now we've gone off topic majorly.
Sorry.
Let's get back to the book. So Debbie, questions for Debbie. Who was your favorite character in the book? And what character would you have liked to have punched in the face? Questions for people in the comments.
Yeah.
This is the one book where our least favorite character actually did get punched in the face.
Yes.
Yes.
I was so happy. But
He
then
totally deserved it too.
He
man.
did.
The things that he was saying about Natasha, and right to her face too. That's just wrong.
I mean, even his bravado when his dad was there as well, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, don't talk Korean. I'll just translate." I was just like, "Ooh."
Yeah. So wrong.
Yeah.
Debbie says, Daniel, I would have loved to have punched the lawyer too. Yes, we talked about the lawyer and how disappointed we were in his actions or lack thereof.
Oh no, he got some action.
He did get some action.
just not the ones that we would have liked.
Right.
I felt really bad for Natasha when she was like eavesdropping and she heard her dad turn around and say that, like, well, if it wasn't for you and the kids, I'd be famous by now.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's so frustrating, because he wouldn't have been, because he was a chicken. He wanted to be an actor, but he didn't really want to do the work. Like, he didn't try out for things, and
he did.
But there was a point where he just started just rehearsing all the time in the house and then wouldn't go out for auditions.
Mm. Oh, Debbie says she would have liked to have punched Natasha's dad as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think we all would.
Yeah.
I think the only person that we were like, I mean, I could have happily given Natasha a backhander at some point.
Yeah.
She did get on my nerves occasionally. But Daniel was just, he was so lovely.
He was so sweet.
He was like, I think Daniel and Irene are the only characters that I actually cared about. I was just like, no.
Well, you can tell Daniel's the type of kid that would help an old lady across the street just because it was the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Just cuts. And I like people like that.
Well, and
I wish I was more like that.
He had his problems, but he always he always made sure that he changed the way he did it. Like when he asked Natasha to stay outside first, and then he's like, "Hey, can we try that again? Because that wasn't right what I just did." Or when she finally told him that she was being deported, and he was just like, "Well, why wouldn't you tell me that earlier?" And she's like, "So you don't care about how I got to this part about being deported. You just care that I didn't tell you, and then he makes up for it later. So I think that's what I like the most, is that he had his flaws, but he always made up for them and tried to be a better person afterwards.
Yeah. I think a lot, I actually made a note that, like, I made a note saying, I straight up, I like the fact that Daniel straight up asked for a do-over. I think more people should actually be that forward and just be able to realize in that moment where I was like, shit, I shouldn't have said that, or I did that the wrong way. Let me rephrase. I think a lot more people need to be able to do that and see that within themselves, because it would save a lot of hassle.
The world would be a much better place if people could apologize more easily.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. I am sorry. I'd like to fix it. It's hard to do that sometimes. I have a hard, and that's one of the things, you know, the ways that Ron is a better spouse than I am, because when he's done something wrong and it's brought to his attention, he is very quick to apologize and try to make up for it. And I am the type of person that'd be like, well, yeah, I'm sorry, but, and he never puts a but in there. So, and honestly, he's the type of guy that would help somebody across the street as well a lot easier than I would do. Sometimes he's a better person than I am.
See, the thing is, it's like, I can't admit when I'm wrong, but I'm also stubborn. So it's one of those where it's like, yeah, you got to catch me at the right time. It's like, yeah, fine, I'm wrong, but you started. You know, probably doesn't help that I'm a Scorpio either. So it's just like, no. But yeah.
Is Christy frozen?
Pardon?
Is Christy frozen?
I don't know. Is Christy frozen? Seems that way.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry if you can hear creaking. I have a new chair. It's a rocking chair. So there's this creakage going on here. Yeah. Wonder if Christy's gonna pop out and pop back in.
I don't know.
Oh, look, a live show. Technical difficulties.
We were doing so well, except for my problem with the cat, but we were doing so good.
Yeah, but the cat's not a technical issue.
Well, my microphone, and then my problem with the cat.
Okay. Okay.
She is a technical difficulty in my life. I love her though. Don't take that the wrong way. I love her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's only like me with this, like, you know, lovely growing fetus. It's like, yeah, it's kicking the crap out of me. Can't wait to give it a backhander, but you know, I love it. It's fun. I did find a little bit confusing with Daniel's dad, how he was like, you know, it was like straight up like, we want you to have a better life than we did. We don't want you to be poor and this, that, and the other. But yet he understood the importance of letting his wife paint and letting her have that outlet, that creative outlet. So I was a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's different between spouse versus child.
It could also be the whole patriarchal, the man provides for the woman, and now that they have kind of a stable business, he figured it's okay for her to do her artistic talents because they're not in poverty anymore. So artistic ability and artistic endeavors are okay as long as you're not in poverty.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe,
it is a little
kinda
confusing because it does kind of seem contradictory.
But that's what parents are for.
Oh yeah. And that's a good thing that this book talked about, was how like they might be well-meaning, but it's not necessarily what the kids feel like they need or what the kids really need in the grander scheme of things.
Yeah. Let me think. Would we recommend this to a friend? I would definitely recommend this book to a friend.
Yes, I would. I probably will, to be honest. I think it's good because it's got a whole bunch of different elements into it. Like, it's got the romance, but it's also got a little bit of like social justice in there. It's got it's really informative. I don't know. I think it's really.
It also like makes you think sometimes as well. I mean, like we said earlier on with like the chapter about hair, it was just like that was a very thought-provoking moment for me when I was reading the book. I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of like concepts that I would have never known about or thought about, and the book gives you that extra context so that you can make sense of it and think deeper about it, especially things that you wouldn't necessarily think about otherwise.
Oh, fudge. Okay, hang on.
Good.
Christy's laptop overheated. So she's gonna have to stay off it, and she's gonna have to miss the last of the live show. So no, but no. I hope your laptop survives.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I was. Chris got himself well. He also got me a Kinder Surprise.
Aw.
And he's just playing with this toy over there, and I was just like, "What the hell are you doing?" Okay, it's fine. So, see, this book was really good. I enjoyed it, but it seems like I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was really good, and it was thought-provoking. But maybe that's why we enjoyed it, and we talked about the stuff we liked, but there's not a lot of stuff to comment on, like negative, I guess.
No.
It was just like a really pleasant read.
Okay. What was your favorite part of the book?
Probably I can't say it, when they went to the Korean karaoke place.
The Nodobang?
Yeah, that thing. Nodobang.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a really cute, because that was when they were first starting to Natasha was starting to let her guard down a little bit, and then that was the epitome of Daniel's cuteness, was just him just going for it with an ABBA song.
Yeah, I love that he chose ABBA. I actually wrote down in my notes, I was like, ABBA, what a choice! And then what else did I put? I was like, yeah, ABBA, what a choice. Soundgarden, meh. And then, Smoochies, even after Soundgarden, boy got skills.
It was just amazing to just kind of picture him just like dancing and like spinning, and like, cause he got all into it, his tie came off, like it would have been it was so cute.
Oh, I would love to have been there. But I thought the waitress was rude. Like, teach girlfriend to use chopsticks.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
But then once again, they gave her a backstory, so it's like, I can't fault you for if I were to see you in, like, if that were to happen in that context, then yeah, I would probably be like, okay. But when you get a backstory, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's like I can use chopsticks, but it's like I'd have still been like, no, I want a fork. Wench.
Yeah.
Seriously, my brain has I have baby brain and all my other question stuff's upstairs because, you know. I remembered the important thing. I remembered my actual notes.
Well, what was your favorite part of the book?
I don't know. I think I liked I think the last part of it when we finally got to find out what happened with Irene, because I was just like, that was weighing on me from the very beginning. I was just like, but what happened to Irene? Somebody! And when Natasha actually phoned up and she was like, can you thank that security guard for me? I was like, oh please, oh please.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I really liked the bit when Natasha went with Daniel to the dad's haircare store. And just the whole, just like, you know, his dad just like, no, relaxer for you, happy.
Yeah, that whole part was so cringe.
So cringy, but I loved it.
It was, yeah.
What was your favorite part, Debbie? I mean, there were loads of, like, you know, cute little moments all throughout the book. I mean, I liked also how, like, when they were in the Notaban and, like, they'd had this kissing and everything, and Daniel was like, nope, can't have sex here, can't have sex here. Just, like, straight up guy thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that too, because usually in books like this, it's always the female protagonist that you see it from, and you don't get to see into the guy's mind so much. So it's like this idealized, like, he's so perfect. But in this one, you could see like all of his insecurities and all of the things that aren't necessarily what a girl would be thinking about a guy. Like, they would, but it showed the different ways of thinking. And so, like, he would say something, he's like, oh, so stupid. It's like, I like seeing that part of the male protagonist, the love interest, because you don't get that very often.
Yeah, they're normally just the strong, silent type.
Yeah.
Or the, you know, the mysterious, sexy guy.
Yeah. And the girl's like, oh, he's so perfect. He looks like Adonis, blah, blah, blah. Like, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But now we get to see, like, he seemed way more real than those, like, perfect images that a lot of these kind of books portray them as.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, they always have the cutest dimples. It's like, seriously, where are all these dimpled guys?
Yeah, I don't know any.
I mean, I've seen a couple of guys with dimples, but it seems like every single guy in YA has dimples.
Dimples, yeah. Or the crooked smile.
Yeah. Debbie's last scene with Irene as well, and that they did find each other in the end. Yeah, that was cute.
But
That was
I was really sad about the whole, like, oh, they're like, I can see how it's the one day, and if they grow apart, that would be realistic. But it was sad because you invested so much into this one day, and then when they were on the plane together, it's like, oh, maybe they'll start up where they left off.
I like that. Also, Natasha finally got her pink tips. She was just like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Oh,
Yeah,
it was a good book. I enjoyed it.
liked
It
it.
gave me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
And we all need a book that gives you the warm and fuzzies every now and again.
Like I was saying before, some books just, they're so stressful and there's so much stuff that's happening. It just takes so much emotion out of you. But in this one, you just need one to kind of, like, it's a restorative book. It's just happy and you just feel good after it.
I mean, even some other contemporaries where you just, like, you know, it is still a feel-good book, but there's so much hat ship that goes into it that you just like, damn, how did you get through this?
Yeah. How did I get through this?
Well, I'm just reading it. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it seems just as bad.
Oh dear. But yeah. Oh, I also would have liked to have punched Natasha's ex that cheated on her.
Yeah.
I cannot remember his name. He was a douche, though.
Yeah, he was. And the whole, I just couldn't choose who I wanted to be with.
Yeah. I didn't want to hurt either of you, so I thought, yeah, I'll just be with both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicola Yoon had good guy logic happening in this book. I have to say, because that is guy logic.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have my cake and eat it too. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's, I guess it was kind of, it forced a lot of characters to kind of make the choices that they didn't want to make. So, like, she broke up with him, so he, like, went with the other one. And then that was kind of paralleled with the paralegal who had to make the choice between his wife and his secretary or whatever she was. And I think, yeah, it's good. And
all in all, altogether, it was a well put together book. It was all good.
Yes, I very much enjoyed it
so much.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. Well, I'll get through this now. So I will do this now. Oh, Budge, come here. Take those out. Because it's empty now. Because we have been choosing books, like Christy, myself, and Brandy have chose books and put it on the Goodreads group as a poll. Next month, well, should I say this month's pick? Everyone, each book got 2 votes, so I'm gonna have to write them down and pick them out of a jar.
Yeah, we've never had a tie before.
Yeah.
Not even
three-way tie.
Three-way tie, let alone.
Okay, so I've got to remember what they are now. That's not how you spell it, but fine. Spell me with 2 E's. Genius.
It's a very excited me.
Yeah. Me. Yeah. Okay. So they're all on here.
I was gonna say I love your moon barrette.
Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. eBay. Okay. I thought it was rather fitting, seeing as, like, you know, sun is also a star. I know, like, you know, the moon is a planet and everything, but, you know, galactic and stuff. Spacey, that'll do.
Spacey, yeah.
Debbie's, I am expecting the June or July book to be added to it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We've already discussed this at length, but we may have a snag. Not that we want a snag, but we may have a snag. Because my due date is the end of June. No, end of July, but it looks like I'll be getting induced in the middle of June. No. Oh, the middle of... I don't know. No. My brain has stopped working. Yes, my due date is the 29th of July. And it seems like I'll be getting induced a couple of weeks early. But hopefully, because the book is released on, when is it released?
I don't. Yeah, I'll check.
I'm checking it right now. I'm like,
Okay.
I need the book. Need it. Yeah, it's getting, well, the paperback is getting released on the 27th of July for me.
Mm-hmm.
The hardcover is the 13th of June. Ooh. So, now that's just changed. It says no, that's the 13th of June. If it's getting released on the 13th of June, we will definitely be choosing our dark duet. I don't care. That's what's happening. It's a thing.
We have to now.
All right, so we have all three in here. Okay.
Drum roll.
Well, I'm gonna pick this one. Do you want me to change it?
No, I trust your instinct.
Okay. I wouldn't. Okay, what we got here? Made You Up.
Made You Up.
So that is this one by Francesca Zappia. And Christy is going to be so happy right now.
Yeah.
She was just like, that's the only one I have. I was like, yeah, well, I have all three and I'm going to read all three. I don't care. But no, I've been wanting to read that one anyway, so yeah.
Should be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Another contemporary as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's that out of the way. Get on there. So, do we have any questions? Any thoughts? Any comments?
I wish Arya would stop meowing.
Harry's like, I have so much to say.
Yeah. She really enjoyed the book.
She sounds like she loved it.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen her so excited about a book before. I mean, how could she not? There's a bunch of yarn on the cover.
Sure. I bet she thought it was a completely different story, though. Like,
yeah.
Bless. But yeah. So, Made You Up is the book for May. I was like,
what month are we in?
Yeah, literally, you saw my brain just go. Yeah.
Same.
There was like, no, I don't. I had fun here. I'm glad you have fun here. We have fun here.
Always have fun here.
Things might not go to plan. We go off topic a lot, but we have the fun here. It's fine.
That's all that matters.
We have all the fun.
Yes.
So, yeah. While my brain's still working. We don't have a date for the live show. It'll probably be the end of this month or just the beginning of next month.
Yes.
You'll have to get back to me with your schedule, lady.
I will.
Good, because obviously if our Dark Duet comes out on the 13th of June, that's straight up getting picked.
I know.
We're not doing a poll, we're not doing nothing. It's just like, that's the book. That's the book we're having, okay?
There's no question.
Really not. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't have any other thoughts or feelings right now?
No, I really enjoyed it. It
I
was good.
enjoyed the book. And I enjoy talking about the book with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Christy's computer gets better.
Mm-hmm.
And, and Aria finally gets some chicken or cheese.
I don't know. I don't think she deserves chicken or cheese today. It's driving me bonkers.
That's fine. So, yes, keep your eyes peeled in the Goodreads group. I will update it as soon as we have any kind of plans. But yes, for this month's live show, I guess that's it. So, yeah.
Thank you for watching.
So yeah, pick this one up. This is the one we're reading. Thank you everyone for watching, tuning in, asking questions, and all that jazz. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.